Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Masters of the Universe Classics Two-Bad. The double-headed evil strategist joins the ranks of the evil warriors in the Masters of the Universe Classics toy line. He's a figure that we've all been anticipating since the beginning of this line, wondering just how he would be executed since he doesn't follow the standard body format of many figures in the lineup. Now that we've gotten this far in, we're starting to get some of these bigger, more oddly shaped characters. So let's check them out. Two-Bad comes in the standard Classics blister card packaging. The back shows off a selection of other figures in the Classics line, as well as gives us a brand new bio for Tuvar and Batra. This guy looks pretty impressive even in the box, but taking him out, he is even more so. There is a lot of really nice new sculpting going on in this guy, these guys. The torso is brand new. It's a wider sculpt to accommodate the two heads. The arms are articulated exactly like all of the other basic figures, which is really great since the vintage figure had those spring-loaded arms that sat on top of his shoulders. The ball-jointed arms here will allow you to finally get some decent poses out of Two-Bad. But if you'd like, you can even get him in that old punching himself in the heads pose, though his biceps are just a tad too big, thus preventing him from actually being able to punch himself in the face. But that's not a deal breaker, is it? The blue side features a nicely sculpted silver gauntlet on his hand, and a nice silver boot featuring a rivet-like design. The purple side features a nice brown leatherish looking glove and a matching boot. The sculpts on his gloves and boots all appear to be brand new and both nicely sculpted and painted. Even further, the purple side has a nice scaly sculpt to it, with fins on the side of his arm and the side of his leg. All of that new sculpting with the bright and colorful paint job looked terrific, though I do want to point out that unlike the vintage figure, the two colored halves seem evenly split. The vintage figure had the blue and purple color sort of swirling down his torso, and the blue leg even had some purple bleeding over onto it. Though some may appreciate that the colors are a little more evenly split now, I always liked the swirl and I'm a bit sad to see it missing on this new figure. The armor is a great update to the vintage armor that was part of the sculpt on that figure. This time, it's removable, and it features nice two-tone orange and metallic orange paint deco. And then we come to those heads. The sculpt and paintwork are terrific on both, and once again, the Horsemen have done a stunning job of taking the original figure and updating it with better details, while still managing to keep the original looks intact. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a closer look at Two-Bad. Now even though this guy has two heads and a wider torso, the articulation on him works exactly like we've seen on all the other figures so far. Both heads are ball jointed, so of course they can turn left and right, they can rock up and down. It is worth noting that they do kind of collide into each other, so some of the movement's going to be hindered, but it's still nice to know that we can articulate the heads like turning them left and right and up and down, something we've really never been able to do with a Two-Bad figure before. Other than that, he still has the standard ball joints on the shoulders there, so the arms can go up, down, forwards, backwards, swivel on the bicep, standard joint at the elbow, swivel at the wrist, still has a nice torso crunch there, swivel at the waist. He has the nice softer loincloth so he can get in a nice sitting position. You can spread the legs outwards. You got the swivels at the thighs there. You got a standard joint at the knee, boot cut right there, and then the nice tight joint on the ankle here, especially on the right ankle. You'll notice it's the newer kind that don't have the pin showing, and his right ankle is incredibly tight. Now the left ankle on my Two-Bad, it's a little more loose, as you can see. Now it's not too loose. He doesn't have any problem standing at all once you get him balanced there. It might just be the difference between the two sculpts on there, but the right ankle is incredibly tight on this particular figure. Now, of course, since he's just got the standard ball joints on the heads, you can remove those heads, no problem. They're very easy to pop off there. And then the armor also has the ability to come off, something else that could not be done on the vintage Two-Bad figure. One of the things I like is that the snaps on the armor are cleverly disguised as the little rivets and the deco on the back of his armor there. So you can easily just pop those right off, and the armor easily comes right off the figure there, revealing the cool two-tone sculpt underneath. And of course, since those heads are just the standard ball-jointed heads, you can even swap your heads around and do some fun mixing and matching with your own Two-Bad. The ability to pop those heads off can make for some fun mix and match play. It's a feature that we've had all through this line, but there's just something really cool about being able to make a two-headed beast featuring the faces of He-Man and Skeletor. Two-Bad includes two accessories. First up is his classic shield, featuring the similar design to that of the vintage weapon, and the same two-tone paint deco that we saw on his armor. The larger clip on the back is meant to clip just above his glove, and can be positioned on either arm just fine. The second weapon is this two-headed mace, taken straight from the 2000X action figure. It's not articulated like that 2000X one was, however does feature a very nice, almost metallic silver paint deco. Alright guys, it's comparison time! Here's Two-Bad standing alongside his vintage counterpart. Here you can see the similarities, as well as the differences, such as the color swirls on his stomach and leg. And here he is alongside the 2000X version. You'll notice that the more even split between halves is much more similar on this one. I have always been a big fan of Two-Bad, and have long been anxious to see how he would turn out in the Classics line. Though I may have a few personal nitpicks, I'm incredibly happy with the overall figure. The fun design is beautifully updated with a fantastic new sculpt and articulation that I have always wanted to see for this character. Plus, it's great getting one step closer to both completing Skeletor's Evil Warriors, as well as the vintage lineup. Two-Bad is part of the 2014 Club Eternia subscription and will be available on MattyCollector.com January 15th, 2014. Until next time,